Good evening, everyone. Hello. 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 Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching this. Hello, and thank you for joining me. It's time for Monday Night Live. I'm Julia from the Paper and Ink Boutique. Hello. It is sunny out here, very sunny. So it's messing with my lights a little bit. Hi. Hello. Hello. Yes. So, hello. Tonight, it's all about Dina. I've been a Dina fan forever. Forever. And I recently did an online class with Dina. It kind of, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. And so she taught us a bunch of really cool techniques. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do that for Monday Night Live. So I've kind of gathered some Dina stuff around here with me, gathered it up, and we're going to have some fun with Dina tonight. Now, I do want to give you a heads up. Next week, so 1 week from today, which is June 5th. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's June already. We are going to have a special guest, and that is Jamie Ike from the Crafters Workshop. So yeah, Crafters Workshop, you know them. Stencils, stencil butters. Oh my gosh, tacky when dry. Their foil transfer sheets. So Jamie's going to be here 1 week from tonight, and I'm going to schedule that event as soon as I'm done here. So you can make sure you get your reminder in. She's going to be here live, and she is going to be teaching us some amazing things to do with the Crafters Workshop stencils, stencil butters, foil transfer, tacky when dry. I just kind of threw a bunch of stuff at her. I'm like, Jamie, just show us all the cool things to do with your project or product. So 1 week from tonight, Jamie from the Crafters Workshop is going to be here. The week after that, Monday Night Live will be back. Monday Night Live surprise, and that will be Cheryl. Cheryl will be here. That's 2 weeks from today. And I want to let you know, and I just need to grab my phone because I want to make sure I'm giving you the correct date. Our 50th episode of Monday Night Live is happening in July. And that is going to be, I believe it's July 10th, if I'm remembering correctly. July 10th, Monday Night Live surprise, 50th episode. And Nancy and I have curated a special kit that we're calling Create Along. And Nancy and I will be creating with this kit. You can purchase the kit for $19.95 and create along with us for our 50th episode of Monday Night Live. So just a few things coming up for Monday Night Live. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over to my overhead camera. Give me 1 second. There we are. Let's move it into shot here. Wonderful. There we go. Okay, so you can see I've got lots of fun Dina things that we're going to talk about. So if you wanted to create along with me, and maybe you've got a bunch of Dina stuff, you might want to grab it out. I've got some of the Dina tags. I've got a couple of the coaster stencils. I'm going to play with those. I have got some of I think they would call these portraits, the portrait chipboard shapes. I'm going to show you how to use those. I got some of the transparencies, some collage paper, ledger paper, and some stamps. So if you have some Dina stuff, and if maybe you didn't hear, but because I'm using Dina tonight, Dina Wakley product is on sale today and tomorrow. Yes. So if you like what you're seeing tonight and you want to, I don't know, maybe pick up a stencil. These coaster stencils are cool. Maybe you want to pick up a stamp. This one is called Perforated Tags. Can't wait to use this one. Maybe you want to use these. Then you can go to the store after. You don't need a coupon code, and the Dina Wakley is on sale. So yeah, there you go. So I'm going to move this off to the side just for a moment. Oh, I also have some washi tape. This is some Dina washi. There you go. Oh, thank you, Brianna. She just put the link there. I've got some washi. I think this is 49 and market washi. I grabbed it. I like it. It's got this little stitch line on it. I don't even think this one's available anymore. But I grabbed that out. I have, of course, my Dina paint. Julia, how much Dina paint do you have? I have a lot of Dina paint. And I have a lot of it. So I've got all my Dina paint here, even the metallics. I'm not sure what I'm going to use yet. I'm going to put that aside. I've got some gel medium. And let me show you this. I grabbed this stencil up. Now, this is a Tim Holtz stencil. It's not included in the sale, but I needed something different from the coasters. And I saw this one. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use that. So I'm using something not Dina. Don't tell her. And then I'm also going to be working in my 6x6 craft journal. I've got two of them. One actually is, it started out as my mandala journal, and then I decided to get one that was just mandala. So this is my mandala journal. So this is, I'll just do a quick flip through. If you don't know, I love drawing mandalas, circle mandalas, square mandalas. I love them. It is my happy place when I'm drawing the mandalas. And yes, these are all hand drawn. I don't use any stencils for these. Oh, except for that. That's not, I don't know what I was thinking when I drew those. I was just kind of playing. So anyhow, this is my mandala journal. I am teaching a mandala class next Saturday, actually, June 3rd. So if you wanted to come and spend the day with me drawing a beautiful mandala, these are just kind of, I haven't finished these yet. These are my works in progress. So there you go. So that's my mandala journal. I love the craft. I just do. And then here's my other 6x6 journal. This is the one I'll be working in tonight. It did start off as the mandala journal, but then I did other stuff in it. So yeah, there's just a bunch of, some stuff isn't even finished. Yeah, it's just kind of fun. I haven't looked through this. This was actually a Maker Mania from a couple of years ago. There you go. More mandalas, more Maker Mania. I don't know why that's sticking. Oh my gosh. I need to put some more wax on there. More mandalas, more journal pages. I don't know what I was doing. Pop up on this one. I love my 6x6 journal. I love it. I love this size. Look, more mandalas. I had more mandalas drawn and then I remembered. Okay, so I'm going to be working in this one. Now, there is, if a square journal or a 6x6, oops, drop something, or a 6x6 journal is a little small for you, there is this size. This is, I think it's 7.5 by 10 or 8 by 10. This one we're currently out of stock on, but I do have more coming in. This is the Dina class I did with her last week. It's so much fun. So I am going to do something sort of like this, but on a 6x6 scale instead. Okay. Now, just because I'm working in a craft journal, if you wanted to watch and you know, craft along with me, you don't have to have the craft journal. One of the white journals, a Dilutions journal, would work really well as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can see I clean off my brayer when I'm doing gel plate. When I have to clean off my brayer, I open up a journal. So these will become journal pages eventually. What I'm trying to find, I'm trying to find one that has the stitching on it because I'm actually going to make a pocket page. Yeah, pocket page. Have you ever added a pocket in your journal before? Okay, so I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to bring in my ruler because what I want to do is I'm just going to draw a line here in between the stitches. Oops, in between the stitches. You don't want to cut the stitches because then your journal will fall apart. So I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm just going to draw a line there. Perfection. Going to grab a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut along that line. Now this paper is fairly thick, okay? It is fairly thick because it is made for mixed media. Sprays, paints, all the fun things. Okay. Now maybe you're thinking, well, Julia, why couldn't I just use other cardstock and make a pocket and you know, glue it in? You absolutely could do that. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just showing you another way of doing it. Okay, so that's going to be my pocket. Now, what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to cut this down a little bit smaller, and it's just going to be a flap. It's just going to be a flap in the middle of my page, but I don't want it all the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler again, because I can't cut a straight line to save my life. And I am just going to draw, I don't even know. I don't usually measure, but let's do 3 inches. Sure, that sounds like a good number. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put my ruler away. I'm done with that. So now what else you could do? Oh, thanks, Crystal. I love doing them. Yeah, I love my mandalas. Now, what you could do, instead of cutting this down, I'm going to cut it here. But if you didn't want to, cut this off, I'm actually going to use this for something else. You could score it and have it fold. You could also do that. But I'm going to cut it off. Okay, here we go. So that's just going to go over here. I got a nice little bucket beside me that has all my scraps in it. That's just going to go over there for right now. Okay, so now we've got our flippy flappy in the middle there. This we've cut. It's going to be attached here. It's going to create our pocket, which is really cool, right? So we're going to have a pocket. What are we going to stick in there? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a tag. Yeah, we could totally do a tag. That'd be cool. And then we've got this side. So before I actually glue this down, and I don't know, maybe I glue it down on this side for my pocket. Doesn't really matter. It's choices. You just make a choice. Okay, so let me get some paint out. I'm like, what am I trying to do? I don't know. Let me grab some paint. I need a brush. Here we go. I'm going to grab a brush. Good old Dina brush. Love those. What else do I have here? Let's grab out a small one. Let's grab out one of those. And let's find some paint. Now, I am loving, and in my last Explore 2023 class, which was not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, we used her neon colors, which are fabulous. Hi, Dion. How are you? These are fantastic, and I love them. But because I just used them in a class, and some of you probably did take that class, I'm not going to use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is craft paper. Looks good on its own, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to put down a neutral color. You could use white. White can be a little bit bright, a little bit stark. So I'm actually going to use this color. It's mineral. Mineral, there we are. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to put some on my work surface there. I'm going to use a dry brush. This is just a dry brush. And I am just going to start covering it all up. I'm not covering everything up. We're going to do other layers. You know me, it's all about the layers. So there, that's fantastic. Look how fast that was. I tell people when they're doing stuff like this, don't overthink it too much. Just like get the paper or get the paint down. Let's also add some here. Awesome. Going to add some on the front of our pocket. That might make a really great place to put a sentiment. I'm going to flip these open. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So we're not covering up the craft because it's beautiful and I love it. We're not going to cover it up. We're just going to dry brush on a neutral color. That'll give something for our paint to sit on. Now, you might notice I work in straight lines. Did I make the mini album? Are you talking about this? No, this is a 6x6 craft journal. Yeah. Okay. I have a little bit of paint left on my brush. So let's get that off of there. So when I put my paint down, I tend to work in straight lines. I don't do like circles or anything like that. I tend to do straight lines. They're just a little bit more, I don't know. There's a certain order to it, right? It's not chaotic. Don't get me wrong. I love circles. But when I put this initial one down, I tend to do straight lines. Up and down, back and forth. Yes, this is a 6x6 craft journal, Dina Wakley. Okay, so there we go. Awesome. I'm loving it already. Now, you may have noticed, well, Julia, why did you bother painting down in there? You're going to cover it up with that. Well, that's true. But if I would have put this down and then try to paint it, I'm only going to be able to get there. So I wanted to make it look like the paint definitely did go behind. So I'm actually not going to put this down until I'm ready for it to be an actual pocket. Now that I flip this over, I realized that I needed to add a little bit of paint to the back of my little flappy flap there. So I'm just going to grab a bit more paint and let's just do that. I'm just going to grab a bit more pink because I think I'm going to kind of go across. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, good. So I'm going to put mineral away. I'm done with that one. Now that I've got kind of my base colors down, loving it. Love it so, so much. Okay. Now, while I let that dry, I could take my heat tool to it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab some collage paper. The collage paper. Now, this is the Painted Marks, and I did check this one is in stock. Now, for those of you who have never used collage paper, I'm trying to find a certain one here. Just give me a second. I should have been a little bit more on top of my game and pulled out the one I wanted, but just give me a second. In the class that I took with Dina, she said she suggests storing your collage paper in the gel plate storage tin from Ranger. And I thought, I never would have thought of that. Oh my gosh, that is brilliant. So now I need to get one of those because I have collage paper coming out the wazoo and they're impossible to get back in here once you take them out. Okay, here we are, collage paper. Look at that, circles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler. I'm just going to make sure. Is that one sheet? Yeah, it felt like two. And I am going to use my ruler just to kind of tear. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use. Not exactly, but I'm just going to carry out or just tear out. Yeah, that's a good piece. Going to use that. I want one of these bigger ones, so let me. Right, it is brilliant, and that's why Dina Wakley is Dina Wakley, because she's just freaking brilliant. I know. As soon as she said it, I'm like, oh man, I need to get me one of those because that's where I need to store my collage paper. Okay, that's good. I don't like that white there, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just clean that up. Yeah, liking that. Gonna just chop that off there. Yeah, liking that. So a couple pieces of collage. And I think this piece would actually look good on the front of my pocket. So let's get that one as well. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? Okay. Here we are. Got some collage pieces. Fantastic. Get rid of that. Now, for any of you who are not mixed media people and you're like, I don't know why I'm here because I will never use any of this. I'm going to be using a lot of different product, okay? Now, if you're a scrapbooker, if you're a card maker, any of these techniques you can use on any of those other. You don't have to use them in a journal. That's just the way I prefer to do it. Oh, see, that's going to look nice. That's kind of I'm already liking. Oops, let's get back on screen. Here we go. Okay. Fabulous. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my chipboard and my stencils. So let's add some stenciling on here. Okay, let's just add some stenciling. So I've got two of the coaster stencils, and don't ask me which ones they are. I don't even know if it says on here. Sometimes it does. They were stencil coasters 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I don't know which these are. We do have them back in stock. So if you're looking for them, they are back. And of course, they are part of the sale today journal. And I am going to apply paint with a blending tool. Now, if you're like, dude, what did she just say? Did she say blending tool? Yes, that's exactly what I said. This is a blending tool here. And they are made by my husband, Glenn. Get it? Blending tool. See what we did there? I know, we're so clever. He actually made these for me many years ago before I even owned a store, because I've dislocated both of my thumbs, and I find holding these, my thumbs would just start to ache. Sorry, these Tim Holtz ones would just start to ache. I still use these. I still do, but I prefer this one. And it depends on what I'm doing. If it's a bigger job, I prefer this one just because my thumb won't hurt as much. So, and I'm also using the rounded foams for these. That's what I'm using. So I've got a couple of stencils. I've got this one here. And I've got this one here. And I'm also going to be throwing in this one. This is the brushed hex, I believe is what it's called. It's THS 166. This was not included in the sale, but I brought it in just because I liked it and I haven't used it a whole lot. Okay, time to pick out paint. Julia, focus. I think I'm going to use magenta. I'm going to use cheddar, magenta and cheddar, and let's do sky. Sky or turquoise? Actually, you know what? I like turquoise better. Let's go with turquoise. Okay, so I'm going to use these three paints. Bring this back. Do I prefer the dome foam? I do, actually. Yeah, I have some of the other ones, but I do prefer these. Now, I do get asked a lot of questions when I use paint on these. What do you do when you're done? Do you throw them out? No, I don't throw them out. I wash them and reuse them. So if you're using these, and I'm talking about any foams, these, the flat foams, whatever, wash them. And what I did, if I sit down and I'm having a crafty session, I can get a lot of messy domes, a lot of messy foams, sorry, dome foams. If you go to the dollar store and get like a tiny, cheap colander, you can throw all your foams in there, a little bit of dish soap, and then you just kind of squeeze them, get them all nice and foamy, and then rinse them off. And then I have an old towel. I'll just throw them out on the old towel and let them dry overnight, and then they're good to go and you can use them again. So, and I use them until basically they're falling apart. Either this part on the back falls off or the foam is just worn away. So you can get a lot of life out of your foams if you take care of them like that. Okay, so I'm going to grab this stencil. So this is the circle one. And let's start with magenta. And here we go. Need to wipe that off. There we go. Okay, so there's magenta. And I'm actually just going to squeeze out all my paints right now. That way I don't have to keep stopping. So magenta, cheddar, and you can't see that. Magenta, cheddar, and turquoise is what I'm using. And I can tell turquoise is a favorite because it's almost empty. Sorry for that loud noise. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take, oh, ew, rolled into my paint. Now, if you've never used, sorry, I'm just going to move that over a little bit. Perfect. If you've never used paint on a blending tool, less is more. What do I mean by that? Well, you're going to pick up your paint. See that? Now, if I was to take that and smoosh that right onto my stencil, there's a lot of paint there and it's going to just bleed under my stencil. So what I do is I take it and then I roll it around and just get a nice thin coating across the entire thing. I'm just going to come in. I'm just going to add some stenciling. Lovely. I'm going to stencil over both of these so you can see when this is down. Look at how beautiful that works across there. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then I'm going to come here, add some stenciling. I'm not doing anything here because remember that's going to be the inside of our pocket. Not going to be able to see it anyways. I'm going to pick up just a tad more paint. And I'm not going to do down here because that's going to be the inside of the pocket. Again, not going to be able to see it. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love Dina too, Julie. I am trying to get Dina to come to the Paper and Ink Boutique. We're in discussions right now. So, do you know what? Maybe all of you just need to go to Dina's Facebook page or social media and just say, Dina, we need to see you at the Paper and Ink Boutique. She has emailed me, by the way. She's just very busy. Okay, I'm going to switch to a different color, which means I'm going to switch to a different. Here we go. I'm going to use the Tim Holtz one. And same way, just going to pick up a bit of paint. This is the cheddar now. And I just work it around so I don't have a big glob on there. Perfect. Now, when I do my stenciling, I like to overlap. Oh, that is gorgeous. See how that look at, oh, I'm off screen. Why am I off screen so much? Just wait. I'm going to move my camera a little bit closer to me so I'm not, there we go. Okay. So overlapping my circles, overlapping the middle of my page. Oh, I know it. Come on. We need to get Dina here. I need to we need to have like a, what do you call it? A petition. Let's bring Dina to the Paper and Ink Boutique. I have met Dina. I've taken classes with Dina. She is just an amazing person. Absolutely amazing. I love her. Okay, look at that. Okay, that's good. Loving that. Going to put that foam down. And I'm going to bring in, just need to clean off my stencil because Julie is bad at cleaning her stencils. Okay, perfect. There we go. Now I'm going to bring in this bigger one. This is the, and I hope I'm remembering it correctly. I believe it's called, I don't even want to say. I think I'm going to get the name wrong. It's a Tim Holtz THS 166. I'm going to add a little bit more stenciling, and this time it's going to be the turquoise. There we go. Again, I'm going to go over my little flippy flappy there and the top of my pocket. I'm going to flip this over and add some of this on here. And let's just add a bit here. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. That is, oh, no, I forgot. We need our tags for our pocket. So I got 3 tags here. I don't know if I'll use all 3, but I've got lots of paint left over. So let's add some paint, shall we? I'm going to take some of the turquoise, not through a stencil. And I'm going to just do that. I'm going to take the cheddar. There we are, cheddar. And let's do that. Oh, loving it. And let's do some of the magenta. Oops, not enough paint. Oh, there we go. Oh, amazing. Okay, are we done with the paint? No, we're not. I am going to just dry these super quick. It won't take too long to dry because it's a very thin coat of paint, so it won't take long. In fact, it's dry already. Look at that. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, loving it. Stencils. So let's bring our stencils in. So, and we're going to use the colors that we didn't use. So I use the turquoise. Now I'm going to take the magenta. Add the magenta on there. Oh, gorgeous. Now I'm going to add my magenta on this one. Fantastic. Done with that. Let's bring in this one. And we need to, let's do, oh, I almost thought I used the wrong one. I was like, oh, used the wrong one. No, I did not. There we go. Let's do some here. Oh, loving that already. That's looking good. And need to do that one. Fantastic. And let's go into our cheddar. And we'll do some here. I'm not overcomplicating it, right? We're just having fun. Just having fun with the stencils. Well, that's fun. Loving this. Absolutely fun. So much fun. I'm just going to set those aside just for a moment so I can wipe up my stencils. So there's that one. Clean up this one. Wonderful. And I'm not going to use this bigger one on my tags. I'm not going to use that one. There we go. Okay, now let's come back to the journal. Everything is dry. Wonderful. Now I'm going to take don't think I'm going to use this paint, so I'm going to wipe it up so I don't make a ginormous mess. Although that is one of the best things about mixed media is the ginormous mess. Okay, perfect. So here's my journal. And now I'm going to take black paint. You could use black gesso, whatever. I'm going to use the black Dina Wakley. I'm going to pick out of my chipboard one of the portraits. I think this one. I'm going to use this one. We're going to use this like a stamp. I'm going to take my paint. I think I need to shake this one up. There we go. Squeeze some black paint on there. I'm going to take, oh, see, look, things are already getting messy. I'm going to take the paint, put it on my chipboard piece, and now I'm going to use it like a stamp. Is it going to be perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect. But look at how cool that is. Oh my gosh. That turned out really good. Okay, a bit more paint. So I'm just going to keep adding paint to this. And yes, I'm using a pretty thick layer. Okay. Just going to cover that up and add that there. Oh my goodness. Oh, love it. So cool. Now I want to do the other side of it. I want one where she's facing the other way. So what I'm going to do, and I know for those of you who don't like to get messy doing mixed media, this is probably going to freak you out a little bit. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me use that paint up. Let's go back to one of our tags. Press that on there. Lift that up. Oh. So much fun. See, the mess is happening, people. The mess is happening. Okay, I'm going to come in. I'm just going to dry this side so I can put paint on the other side. I don't know why this matters to me because my hands are already messy, but okay, I'm going to flip that over and we're going to add paint to the other side. Now you're probably thinking, well, what are you going to do with these pieces? You painted them black. They look awful. They're going to go in my stash and I will use them for something else. All right, so I'm going to, I actually think I'm going to put her under the pocket. Oh, and you probably can't see that. Give me a second so I can, there we go. So I actually put her under the pocket there. So the pocket will be like that. I'm going to do one more, I think. Yes. But I'm just going to do the top. Oh. I just can't stop now. I can't stop doing this. Look at how cool that is. Isn't that great? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to dry it. Probably once I'm done with it, I'll probably paint it all black again. But then it'll just go back in my stash and I'll use it for something else. So thank you, little pretty lady silhouette. We're going to set you over here to dry off. Wonderful. Oh, I forgot my other tags. Do you know what? Let's do a couple of different silhouettes. The mess is getting a little bit out of control. A little bit out of control. Oh, thank you, Glenn. Yeah, get the scrubby all warmed up and soapy for me because I'm going to need it. I'm going to have black paint up to my elbows here if this keeps going the way it is. Yeah, I'm going to need to take the scrubby soap to this. Ooh, okay, so I'm going to bring in these two tags. I'm going to grab, I think this is like a male silhouette, and I'm going to add some paint to him. Let's press that on there. And let's do that up there. And you don't really, like maybe, you know, a while ago or a while from now, you'll look at this and I may not even remember it's a silhouette. I do actually, Tony. I do get my fingernails clean. Scrubby soap, my dear. I actually have a scrubby soap in my shower because sometimes when I'm done this, I'm like, I think I'm just going to have a shower and I just scrub it and then you scrub your hair and it actually comes out really nice, actually. Oh, great question, though. I do clean up. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, good. Set those aside. I'm trying not to use baby wipes. I'm trying to use my crafty claws, but you know, there are some days when a baby wipe is the only thing that will work. Okay, brush in the water. So talk amongst yourselves while I clean up my ginormous mess. If I was Dina, I would just keep going and it just wouldn't matter. But if I keep going like this, I will have black paint all over my face by the end of the night. Okay, look at that. That cleaned up really fast. Done, done, and done. Am I done painting? I believe I might be. Scrubby soap is amazing. I love it. Okay, perfect. Let's get back on track, shall we? Let's bring the journal back in. So here's my journal. I'm just taking a look. Paint looks dry. That's great. Bringing in my tags. Again, looks good. I believe I'm done with my paint. So I'm going to take off my dome foams to be set aside to be cleaned after. Perfect. Now, I am going to take, I've got this Dina washi, which is on reorder. I was hoping it was going to be here for this week, but unfortunately, because of the US holiday, it kind of got hung up. So I'm just going to take some washi. Now, this is going to be my pocket. So I'm actually going to wrap the washi around that pocket because it's going to be Andy Warhol style. I'm actually going to wrap it around my pocket because I'm going to be attaching that at the very end. There we go. Now, some people ask, like, Do I need to medium my washi down? You could. Yeah, you could totally do that. I don't usually worry about it too much. This is a really wide washi and it's got faces on it, which I really like. So I'm actually going to tear a piece of that off. I'm going to tear strips. Oops, not around 2 pages. There we go. And let's go along the top of the pocket there. Wrap that around the side. And I'm going to wrap one around my little flippy flappy. Here we go. And let's finish it off with this one. And we'll wrap it around too. Oh, look at this. This is really coming together. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for sticking with me through all of the mess. Okay, stamping. Do we want to do some stamping? This is called the perforated tag stamp. Really versatile, I think. It's got these really cool stamps of tags on it, which is really cool. So I'm actually going to grab a piece of my, here we go. I've got a bunch of scrap paper over here. So we have got a pocket. I've got some large tags. I'm going to make some smaller tags to also fit in there. What could I use these for? Well, plenty. I could, sorry, I'm looking for my, I was going to use a stamping block, but my platform jumped out at me at first. So I'll just talk to you while I'm stamping these. And for the life of me, I don't remember where that conversation was going. Perfect. So I'm just going to stamp some of these tags because it'd be really good. Like if I wanted to write quotes on them, I could write a quote, stick it in the pocket, and it's always going to be there. So let's just, I don't think I'm going to do any of the little ones. Let me do some of the bigger ones. This is the Dina Wakley 6x6 craft journal. There we go. Okay, let me just stamp these. I'll only do 3, but you kind of get the gist. Awesome. But you can see how cool that stamp is. Look at all, they got a stitched one. They've got little ones, round ones. They're perfect. They're awesome. So let me just take that out. Put that aside. Oh, I am loving these tags. Look how fun those are. Oops, that one smooched. Awesome. Okay, those are done. Just going to quickly cut these out. I don't necessarily like the white edge, but Dina has a lot of really good stamps that would fit onto these tags too, as I'm sure, like we all have tons of different stamps, sentiment stamps, quote stamps. These are also great to write on. I'm just cutting out these little notches right there. There we go. Because it's got like this little perforated, it's not perforated, it's a stamp perforation. But if I wanted to bend that, I could make a little pocket tag. I could bend it this way. I'm going to choose to bend it that way. Pocket tag. Don't have to do it. I could cut it off if I want. And I'm just going to quickly cut these out. But yeah, I think these would be really great to just write on, you know, your own little private journaling block. Throw it in your journal in the pocket that we've made. There we go. And one more. This would be something. Since I have this stamp set, I would just sit and stamp and cut out these and just have a whole bunch on my desk and maybe like a little bucket or something. You need a tag for something, you can just grab it out. I could add a little bit of paint to that. Just paint it, a little bit of stenciling, and you're good to go. And you've got a little tag for a gift, a wine bottle, whatever it is. Okay, so there we go. We got those now. Okay, one more thing we want to look at before we start assembling our pages is transparencies. Now, these are fantastic. I love them. Like, look at how I love them so much. I have the same pack twice because I love them so much. So I know it's amazing. Julia bought something twice. I'm going to, and I love this one. This one is actually called Abstract Portraits Set 1. There are others. We've got other Dina transparencies, which are all amazing. So I'm going to come in and I am going to cut out one of the large faces. Now, if you've taken my Explore class in the last little while, we actually did transparencies in my Explore class, and we actually painted on these. I don't have that with me, but you can paint on the back. But I am going to share with you a secret that I did learn from Dina from that class I took with her, and it sort of did blow my mind. And I was like, Dina, this is why you are who you are. I like this cluster of the 3. There are clear transparencies as well. But what I tend to do is I've got a lot of these. You'll have the blank spaces. Great if you want to stamp on using like an archival ink or a StazOn ink or something. StazOn is what I meant because this is plastic. You can stamp on here and use it. So, you know, I'll even keep these little bits until it gets out of control and then I start throwing them out. Okay, so those I want. And there's one more. I'm trying to see if I still have it. It might be gone. I might have used them already because, like I said, they're my favorite. And I don't see them. They're the really tiny faces, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to quickly cut these out. Now, you're like, well, are you cutting right up against? Nope, I am not. Once I cut this out, I will show you. And you don't even have to cut them out. You can leave them in bigger pieces, especially with the technique that I'm going to show you on how to attach them into your book. When Dina mentioned this, I was like, that makes so much sense. And my mind is blown because it just took somebody to have to say it out loud for me to even realize it was a thing. Okay, so I've got that one. I've got this one. And we're going to do one more. Now you can attach these with a like a tiny attacher, a stapler. You could staple them to your pages, which I have done in the past. I have used my tiny attacher, but awesome. Okay, there we are with our 3 faces, our 3 groupings. Book back in. Okay. So you can, see, you can put it over top of the collage paper. Totally do that. That actually, when I do that, that actually makes that face look like the man in the moon, which is kind of cool. Not exactly what I was going for, but I think that's actually pretty amazing. So I actually might do that. So how do you attach the collage paper? Let's do collage paper first. I am going to take some gel medium, matte medium, something like that. Going to put my gel medium in my book. Oh, and I'm off camera again. Holy. Okay, there we go. I'm going to lay my collage paper on there. And now I'm going to cover it. So matte medium underneath, collage paper or matte medium on the top to seal that in there. Oh my goodness. I am loving that. So now I need to cut this down because as soon as I put that on there, all I could see was like kind of the man on the moon kind of. Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, so how do you attach the transparencies without using a stapler? Well, use matte medium. You take matte medium and you put it on the back of your acetate. Covering that with matte medium. And then you take that and you put it down and then you just gently smush so everything is touching. Clean up your edges and that will stick there now. Let me grab this journal. So all of these acetate pieces in here were attached with matte medium. Yeah, I don't think I stapled any of them in. Matte medium is holding these in. So you can use the same technique with any acetate. The 49er Market acetate leaves, put them down with matte medium. And all you have to do is put it underneath, stick it down. I mean, look at that. Can you tell that there's a layer of matte medium under there? No, because it dries clear. Fantastic. Thank you, Dina Wakley, for your brilliance. So there we go. There's my face in my journal. Love it. What other faces do I have here? I've got this one. Here we go. This one. And she is going to look fantastic right there. She's going to be tucked in my pocket. And look at that. She's going to be peeking out. She's going to be peeking out from behind this little flappy bit. But then you're going to flip it and you're going to see her beautiful face. Fantastic. Love it. I'm not going to put any collage paper under here. I love how her beautiful face shows up. So again, I'm going to take that. I'm going to put the collage medium all over the back of my piece of acetate. And you want a fairly generous amount. I mean, you don't want it thick on there, but you want to make sure it's not too thin either because it's going to need to make contact so that when it dries, every piece of that acetate is stuck into your journal. There you go. So I'm going to lay that in there. So you can see when I lay it down, I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to kind of smooth it out. And you probably can't see it on camera, but I can see where the matte medium is. So I'm just kind of pushing it and making sure that it is evenly coated underneath. And there we go. And now our lady is there. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I am ready to close my pocket up. So what am I going to do with my pocket? How am I going to glue it down? I could use matte medium, but that could get messy and it's going to close up. And all I really need to do is go along this one edge right here. So is this my glue? Yes, this is my glue. Here we go. I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to put a thin bead of glue just along that one edge. There we go. And then I'm just going to hold it there for just a few seconds. Wait for that glue to catch. There we go. Oop. Don't lift it up. It won't stay there if you lift it up. Let's try that again. There we go. Fantastic. So there's my pocket. And I've got these people. I cut them out. Are they going to work anywhere? You know what? They might not. Actually, this one will. I'm going to cut out just this one. There we go. And so I'm going to stick her here. Again, matte medium. Now I decided not to go to this edge because that edge is going to hang off the edge of my page. So I'm just going to lay that down. And I don't know if I'm going to leave that overhang there. I might actually come later after it's dry and cut that off. But I'm going to leave it there for right now just because it is wet. So you just want to push it into place and I'm going to let it dry and then I'll decide if I'm going to cut that edge off. More than likely I will, but I'm going to leave it for right now. So there's my page right now. I am loving this. Really loving that. I just absolutely think that's amazing. Some things you just can't plan. They just happen. Okay, now one more thing. Going to bring these tags in. I'm going to add some, where did that other piece, oh, here it is. I was originally going to put this on my pocket, but I think I'm going to use it on these tags instead. So I'm just going to cut that little bit, and then let's do that. There we go. A little bit there. I'm off camera again. I am struggling to stay on camera tonight. Don't know what is going on. There we go. And this one. Wonderful. Where'd my scissors go? Here they are. I think I'm going to just use these up as well. Matte medium on the back of my collage paper. Oops. There we go. Oh, what am I doing? Here we go. So what I like about the collage paper is when you put your matte medium on it, they do go a little bit transparent so you can see still my stenciling and the coloring behind there. They're not completely opaque. Sometimes I'll just run my finger over them just to make sure there's no air bubbles. Let's do another one. I think I'm going to do this one. I'm going to wrap it around. Let's wrap it around the edge because we can. Love it. Love, love. I'm going to leave that one the way it is. Perfect. Are you enjoying this? Are you loving this? Abstract portraits 1 or 2. Give me a second. One. Set 1 is what I'm using. Okay. Now, something else that I'd never tried before until I took the Dina class was her ledger paper. And I found out from Dina that she actually typed these up. She has an old typewriter. She typed these up and then they were made into these ledger papers. And yes, we have these. We sell them. Personally, I have not looked at these very closely until I was given some. And let me tell you, obsessed. I am obsessed. So yeah, these are really cool. And some of the sayings on here, they're quotes, some of Dina's favorite quotes. Some of them are just straight from Dina herself. So these are amazing. I'm just looking to see something. Just going to cut out this one. Show up and do the work. I feel like I do that every single day for all my crafty peeps out there. So I want to thank you for your support. Glenn and I and the entire Paper and Ink Boutique would not be here without all of you. Wonderful. Now I'm going to also use some matte medium to put these down. Could use glue if I wanted, but I want to make sure they stick because they're going in and out of that pocket. Show up and do the work. There you go. There's tag 1 done. Oh, that's fun. Love it. Let's see, what else do we have? There's so many. Why didn't I choose these beforehand? This is so hard. Don't wrestle with pigs. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, here we are. I like this one. Art is you being free from all of the world's heaviness. Amen to that. Isn't that the truth? Art lets us just be free. Now, I love this one, but it's actually going to go on the page itself. We're going to bring this in here. Art is being free from all of the world's heaviness. There we go. And another one. Oops, not enough. Well, thanks, Sandy. It's one of the reasons why we take classes is because, being a store owner and, it's not all fun. It's not all fun and crafty things. So we need crafty time too with some of our idols, which is Dina Wakley for me, to learn these things. And it's really great. I'm glad that the companies and the businesses do that for us because it's really fantastic. Okay, so there's one tag. I think I need a quote here. What should I do? I could do a stamp. Be messy and complicated. Be messy and complicated and afraid and show up. No. Make a list of things that make you happy. And you know what? That might be what this journal page is for. And I will just take tags and I will write down things that make me happy and I can stick them in the pocket. And then when I'm having maybe not such a great day, I can get out this journal and I can get out my tags and I'll read all of the things and be reminded about what makes me happy. Make a list of things that make you happy. And I know we're human. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes the world just gives us crap, right? And you kind of forget that, yes, you have plenty to be happy about, but, sometimes it's best to write them down to remind ourselves. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at that. Let me just get some of the stuff out of the way. There you go. And let me bring my journal back in. Here we go. So there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? Still a little bit wet. I'm not going to close it, but look how easy that was. That was what? About an hour that took me to do that. Now, I might need to put a quote on there, but I'm going to do that later. I'll think of something else. Maybe that will be my list of things that make me happy. I'll start writing them there, but there you go. So you can see you don't have to be, and I tell this to a lot of people, and I come from this as a scrapbooker and a card maker. So I know about wanting things to be perfect and pretty and straight and all of the things. I understand that. I totally understand that because I was where you are. So, But let me just say, getting into mixed media, art, journaling, drawing mandalas has been very freeing for me. And I don't necessarily go away and not do scrapbooking and card making. I do. I just go about it differently now. One other thing I want to do. See this? This is the Prism Studio fine tip applicator. Love these. I talked about them a couple weeks ago. I have 3 of them. This one is glue, which I should, I had it written on there, but it's worn off. I have black paint in another one and white paint in a third one. So what do? Well, I like to use this, and I'll make sure that it's coming out before I start. Yep, there you go. And I'll just use it to do like scribbling. Am I writing something legible? No, it's just scribbling. It's just fun. It's just, you know, look how easy that is. Look how fun. I was going to write across here, but it's still a little wet and I don't want to mess it up. So I'll have to let it dry. But yeah, just fun things. Maybe I go around there and highlight my quotes. Give them a little bit of love. Look at that. And we're done. Oh my gosh. So there we are. We've got this page. I've got my little flippy flappy thing there. Probably add something to the back. I don't know what I want to do there yet. I am probably going to cut that off. If I can find my scissors. Let me just see. Yeah, let's cut that off. I thought I'd like it hanging off, but I don't really. So let's cut that off. There we are. So there's my little flippy flappy and my second page there. And this is my pocket page. Oh, I forgot to seal the bottom of my pocket. I'll do that. Actually, do you know what? That would be a great thing for washi tape. Let's just use the washi that we have. And just fold it under, and now I've sealed the pocket. All good in the world again, because Julia obviously doesn't know how to make a pocket. You can't just seal it on one side. Ha, there we go. So now I've got my pocket. I can put my tags in there. I've got my little tags I can write my little quotes on and stick those in there. And there we go. And we're done. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I hope you learned something. Don't forget, Dina Wakley is on sale the rest of today and all day tomorrow. I will take photos of these at the store tomorrow with the good lighting, and I will post them in the inspiration group so that you have some photos to take some inspiration from. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been great hanging out with you. I'm back at the store tomorrow, and I think there's some new stuff that I'll be sharing on a Facebook Live. Don't forget, 1 week from today, Jamie Echt from the Crafters Workshop will be here giving us a wonderful demo using stencil butters, stencils, and lots of more things. Great. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Bye.